Greetings, dear viewers. This is Northgard. It is this sort of blend between RTS and something like Civ. So think of like Civilization, the turn-based strategy game, but as an RTS, as a real-time strategy game. So you kind of got this blend between Civ and Warcraft, for example, which has, for me, been very fun. I've got 9 hours in this game, according to Steam, and I still have very little idea how to play this game, but I know enough. I may be exaggerating there. I do know enough to be able to show what this game is about. Currently, the game is in early access. The campaign, which I am very much looking forward to after playing 9 hours of the skirmishes, the campaign is not available, but I am looking forward to that. I'll be keeping tabs on this game to see when the campaign comes out, because that could be a whole lot of fun. But I have been playing single player here versus some easy AI, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Although I probably at this point could jump up to normal, I'm going to play against easy AI with a map size of medium with 3 AI players, and all victory conditions are up for grabs. So I'm going to click on OK. And I normally play as the Clan of the Wolf, Fenrir here. There are others. Each of these clans have, as you can see, different bonuses that you can try to fit your playstyle with. You can see that you've got like the stag, you've got the goat, and I'm purposely leaving these on screen a little bit so you can pause and read those if you want to. And then you've got the raven. And of course there's a 5th one here. This is unknown and coming soon. Once again, this game is in early access, but the level of complete the core game is fantastic so far. Anyway, I'm going to click on Fenrir because this is the one I've been playing, and I feel like it's the one that I can best use to illustrate what this game is about for you, dear viewers, in case this is something you haven't seen before. And if you have seen this before and you play this game, this is probably going to frustrate you, just letting you know. Anyway, so you start off in a small little corner, or a small little shoreline right here, with you and just 5 of your people, or 4 of your people here. And I'm going to go ahead and pause and try and explain what all this is about. Now, if you hit the V... Oh, actually, I have to be unpaused to do it. If you hit V, you can see that there are 4 different types of victory conditions. Again, you can pause the video and read those, but if you achieve any one of these, you win the game. And remember, right now it's me and 3 other AI players. So one of the first things I want to do here is I want to make sure and build a house so that we can make sure we don't get supply capped. We have a population of a maximum of 5 people right now, and the town hall, as long as you have the happiness to support it, the overall happiness for your people to support it, will continually produce new villagers, and villagers will spawn at a faster rate. It'll produce villagers at a faster rate the happier your people are overall. So we're going to build a house because we're going to keep spawning villagers. We want to make sure we have the supply to support them, places for them to stay. Also, if you hit B, I can also build a scout camp, which is an extremely important structure to start off early on. The house is now complete and the scout camp is being built. I can also at the same time build a woodcutter's lodge, which I like to build early as well, because as we can see here, my wood resource is at -1 every so many intervals. That means I'm actually expending more wood than I am producing, than I'm gathering. So I want to make sure and do that. So we've got food, we've got wood, we've got crowns, we've got stone, we've got iron, and we've got population and warband the size of your warband. Okay, so I'm playing as the Clan of the Wolf. Our warband is kind of our major thing. We gain happiness by having a bigger army. So I want to go ahead and make sure, and a big army is not necessarily huge in this game. We're talking like maybe 9 or 10, sometimes even just 5. So there's something like that. Anyway, we can see that the woodcutter's lodge is now finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on the little civilians icon over here. That selects all my civilians. And now I'm going to right-click here to select, to assign as many of them as possible to be woodcutters. And right now, the woodcutter's lodge, if I click on that, it says it can support only 2. Number of assigned clan members, 2 of 2. And we can see now at the top we are generating 8 wood every so many intervals. I don't know how many intervals that 8 actually works with. I don't know if it's like a minute or every 10 seconds or what have you, but anyway, it's going. It's obviously not a minute because it's going up a lot faster. Alright, so in the same way that we assigned woodcutters, I need to select a villager and assign them to be a scout. So we have a scout. We have a villager moving up to be a scout. Now, scouts will automatically scout the surrounding area. Notice the mini-map. We're here in a very small area of the map. We need to know what's around us because the surrounding areas can help determine which victory condition we go for. You want to try and work with the map. So ideally, I would have actually got my scout going much sooner, but I am commentating, I'm explaining things, I'm trying to make sure you folks can follow along what's happening. As we can see here, the scout is scouting this area out, and they're going to keep doing this. And it's dangerous for them because they can get hurt as they scout. And now we can see here in this little hex over here, if I click on this, this is a deer hex. This area is full of deer. This is a great place to hunt. Alright, so this is a place where I would want to build a hunting lodge, and that'll help produce food for our people, which is something I'm actually going to do. But I can't actually build anything here yet. Like if I hit build, and I hit, no, I don't have enough wood right now for a hunter's lodge. Or actually, I do, but I don't have anything that, I don't control this territory, so it's not available for me to build. But if I try to build something like a house on it, I can't do that. I first have to colonize this area by clicking on the area and then clicking colonize for 20 food. Now, it costs more and more for every area in sequence that you colonize. So this next area would cost 40, for example. And the cost to colonize further areas is going to increase even more. But we have colonized this area. We now control this area. So because I want to capitalize on the fact that we can get a lot of food there, I am going to build a hunter's lodge at this point in this area. And right now we can see it's sitting there as just sort of a foundation. What we need to do is we need to grab one of our villagers here. I'm not sure if I'm calling them civilians. I'm sorry if I am. But we need to grab one of our villagers here by right-clicking all of them. Right-clicking to select all of them, or left-click will select a singular one. I like to right-click to select all, and then just right-click on the building that needs construction, because it'll automatically pick just one villager to go build that. So this villager is going to go build out there. Now, if I click on this little info button over here at the top right of the minimap, it says toggle world info. If I click on that, we can see that each area has its own certain limitations and statuses and things like that, certain elements and components to it. For example, this area right here with my town hall, this is the town hall area, and we have 4 out of the maximum of 5 buildings that we can place here. So you have to manage what kind of buildings you place where to get the most out of them, because you have a limited number of buildings you can place in any area. So we don't want to just try and build everything here because we can't. We need to expand to build the necessary structures. Okay, so now we've got the hunter's lodge over here, and it's got a little exclamation point indicating that it's got nobody working for it. So again, I'm going to go ahead and right click on my villagers, and I'm going to right click on the hunter's lodge, and that's going to assign 2 of them to become hunters, and they'll be out here hunting deer, producing food. We can see now that if I hover over food, we're getting plus 12 from villagers. Villagers that have no other jobs will simply gather nearby food. They'll forage. And I've got plus 9 from hunters. So as you can see, only 2 villagers assigned as hunters are bringing in 9 units of food. So that's fantastic. That's exactly what we want. And negative 11 is our consumption. We're consuming more and more the more people that we attract to our village. Speaking of, we do have our population here set at 8. So we are getting more and more villagers coming in. We're going to need another house. So I'm going to hit build. I'm going to click on house, and I'm going to go ahead and drop one here. Remember, we have a maximum of 3 in this area that we can build 3 buildings. So I'm going to go ahead and build a house. It doesn't really matter where you put it, but generally you want to try and set them up in a pretty nice defensive area, defensive setup. And you can get into that kind of stuff later. I don't want to talk too much about that right now. But we will get a villager to go out and construct that house so that we make sure we stay ahead of the supply cap. Alright, so during all this, our scout has been kind enough, if you'll notice the minimap is actually kind of zoomed out a bit, our scout has been kind enough to go scouting all these areas, and we can see all the different things that are available to us. This area over here has a lot going for it. We'll be able to build a fisherman's hut, we'll be able to build a mine for stone. Now there is a wolf here, so we're going to have to try and take care of that either by getting our villagers to attack it, which is dangerous, or we can get a warrior to go out and do that, and we can build 3 buildings here. And this area over here is another deer area. Okay, so we got another hex for deer over here. We can only build 2 structures here, but we can assign 2 people to be hunters. That's what that little meat icon means. But just like the stone icon means we can assign miners and, fish for fishermen. And over here we'll have wheat, for farmers. So there is that. So our scout is still scouting out, and we need to decide what we're going to do next or where we're going to go next. We haven't uncovered any forests yet, which is a great place to build more lumber mills, so we're just going to have to kind of rely on just a sort of low amount of income as far as wood is concerned. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get a warrior, because we can see that we've got wolves and these Draugr guys out here pretty near our base. So I'm going to hit B and build a training camp here as the 5th and final structure. Actually, we could go up one more by developing the area for a cost of 100 crowns. But right now, we're meeting the maximum number of structures with this training camp, and we're going to have to assign villagers to be warriors for this to work, which of course will mean we have fewer villagers foraging, so it's something you have to consider that you're going to lose some food income if you assign villagers to be warriors. But we do need that. Alright, That sound that you just heard means that we have lore available to us. Up in the top right, if I click on this, we can see we have lore for building up different tech trees or what have you. I can start off with sharp axes. Our woodcutters will produce 15% more wood. Our weaponsmith tree will... Oops, I'm going to hit L again. Our weaponsmith tree will improve our military units, and trading makes it easier for us to trade, and all the other things that lead off from those, of course, supplement these intro lore studies and things like that. I'm going to select weaponsmith to make all of my military units' attack power increase by 20% because I am the Clan of the Wolf. We are the Clan of the Wolf, and we're going to be relying a lot on our army. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and right-click on my villager, all of them, and I'm going to right-click on the training camp here, and we're going to get 2 of our villagers assigned as warriors here. So we can select them, like in StarCraft, by double-clicking to select all of them, or we can single-click one to select just one, and we can move them around and things like that. An unknown clan has discovered the Wyvern's Den. It could help us achieve victory. I think that might be out here. Oh yeah, that's right here. This is like a raid boss. The most fearsome of the ancient creatures roaming the lands of Northgard. Kill the Wyvern to gain 250 crowns. Now, another clan discovered this, but we get to see it too now that it's discovered, so that we have the same chance to capitalize on the fact that it's on the map. You might not always have a Wyvern on the map, but if one player sees it, all players need to be notified so that we can all plan accordingly. Everyone has the same chance to win in that case. Now, this isn't a strict win condition. This will provide 250 fame, and fame is right here. And fame is one of the win conditions. See, so fame is definitely something important, something you want to keep your eye on. Alright, so we've got our warriors here, and if I press the E key, it selects my whole army, and I can move them around. Now, it is currently winter. Let me go ahead and pause. It is currently winter, which decreases the amount of food you generate. It also increases your wood consumption because, as you can see there, it says -6 for firewood. When winter rolls around, you kind of want to kind of pull your clan together. You want to hunker down for the winter. You want to try and get through it because winters become more and more severe. It feels like, anyway, as the game goes on. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know, but it does reduce your effectiveness. Even warriors, for example, like over here, if I mouse over this, over the little main unit pane or what have you, it says your military units have 30% reduced power outside your territory during winter, which means you are fully effective with your warriors and your army in defense. But if you wander out to go hunting with your warriors, or to go conquering other players, or what have you, or to go clear out new paths, or just to collect some coins or whatever by doing raids and stuff like that, if you move out with your army, they're going to be 30% less effective during winter. So that's very important to keep an eye on. So, and we can see the timeline over here, down above the mini-map. This green part is summer, and this white part, the snowy part, of course, is winter, and we are right here in December, and this timeline is just going to keep moving on across. So we're going to have to kind of try and just wait the winter out. And we do have some food available to us. I think we have a maximum of 500. Yeah, it says 490 of 500 there on the top right, which means I'm going to want to spend some of this anyway. There are multiple ways you can spend food. You can organize a feast, which gives +2 and 20% bonus to all production and happiness for 1 month, and you also get fame for it. But although a feast only costs 100 for your first one, the cost for subsequent feasts increases. So what you want to do generally is you want to make sure you have a decent number of production facilities already running and manned and maybe upgraded before you run your first feast. That way you get the most out of that 20% production bonus for just that 100 food. But sometimes you may need to use the feast to get through winter because it does increase your production, which can help offset the decreased production of winter. But in this case, I'm going to spend my food as a means of colonizing more areas around our town hall here, because we've got like a food area right here, we've got some deer right here. There's lots of stuff that we can actually do. So I'm going to start colonizing these areas, expanding our territory. We have to watch out for our happiness as well. Right now, we have an expected happiness of 1. As the game goes on, that expected happiness increases. Your people expect a certain level of quality of life. And if you don't meet that, the happiness, of course, has a deficit, and your clan stops growing, and it has these other effects as well. I think it might have other effects as well, but your clan definitely stops growing. If your happiness dips below 0, you'll still keep growing if it's at 0. People will be, they'll be somewhat content at 0, so the clan will keep growing. But yeah, you're definitely going to want to make sure and maintain your happiness. And as you can see, it says +3 territory right there. territory is one way to increase happiness. So, because we've got almost the maximum amount of food, and even though we are in winter, we are still generating food rather than losing it. It's very possible that when winter rolls around, you will be at a deficit and you'll have to wait things out. But right now, we are generating food, which is fantastic. And because we're still generating wood instead of losing it to firewood, I think it's okay for me to go ahead and spend the food, even during winter, to begin colonizing other areas. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to colonize this spot over here. Oh, we can't until we've defeated the enemies in the area, which are 2 wolves. So we're going to send our army out there. Now notice what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and pause again so that I can commentate on this. We've got our warriors right here. They're kind of blurred out because the game is paused. But whenever I simply right-click into the area, they'll go in and they'll fight on their own. I can still micro them if I choose to. As an RTS player, I like being able to choose which targets to focus and which of my units is being focused. So you can still micromanage them if you want to. And you probably should if you're playing multiplayer or competitively. But this kind of RTS, in my opinion, is much simpler to manage than something like StarCraft or Warcraft, and as you're about to see. All I have to do is right-click my army into this area where there are hostile units, and my guys will go out there, and they'll start fighting those units. Now, remember, we are in winter, so they're going to be 30% less effective. It's something that's a little bit dangerous, but we're going to have to do it anyway, because I don't want to reach that food cap and be wasting food. So here we go. Gonna send my units into this hostile territory over here. They're gonna begin attacking this wolf. Now these are just wolves. These aren't other combatants. They're not trained warriors. These guys are definitely warriors, and we have upgraded them with our lore, if you'll recall, with our weaponsmith. So of course they're gonna win this fight handily. Now we can bring these guys back, and with this area clear, oh, here comes a wolf to attack our territory. This wolf is attacking our settlement here, probably hunting, looking for food of its own. And we decided to go ahead, well, we hadn't cleared that up. So we're going to go ahead and select this area now and colonize it for 40. And we're going to send our warriors into this location as well by pressing E and then right-clicking into this area. There's only a single wolf here, so they'll take out that wolf. And I can colonize this area too. Do I want to? Yeah, because there's stone here, so I'll go and colonize that. Remember, you cannot take advantage of any resources until you have colonized the area that those resources are in. So this grows our territory, which is fantastic. And we've got another deer hex over here. And see, now we're colonizing for 120, so I'll go ahead and colonize there. And we're gaining more and more territory, increasing the happiness for our clan. But that simultaneously does mean we have more territory that we need to protect, meaning we'll need more defensive structures, which means we're going to need more lumber, and we'll also need more army, which means we're going to need more crowns. Which means we're also going to need more food, because that takes up army. So as you grow, the demands on you and your clan increase. Not only that, but we have also got some wounded units here, and they don't heal on their own. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to come over here to this area. It's got 2 of 3 still. We can still build something in this area. I'm going to build a healer's hut. Now these healers, well, I'll just go ahead and build it and I'll show you. Go ahead and put this right there. We have a villager already in that area, so she's going to go automatically build that. I don't have to assign one. If there are nearby villagers in the area that don't have any other job, they'll rush up and start building a new structure once you place it down. Okay, but they have to, of course, have to be in that area. And the winter has subsided. We are now back in the summer. So you want to make sure you have a stockpile of food and wood before winter comes around, otherwise you might find yourself in some trouble. So we are building the healer's hut at this point, and I'm also going to build, oops, I hit V at the same time. I'm going to build this fields right here and get that working. And we're also at 15 of 15 supply. So off she goes. I think she's going to go build that because it's close. Maybe she didn't have to be in the same hex. Yeah, there she goes. She's doing her thing. Alright, so we've got this healer's hut now, and we can assign, just like any other building like this, we can assign 1 to 2 healers who will automatically heal any wounded units in your territory. So I'm going to take 1 villager this time. I'm going to left click instead of right click, and that selects this single villager. And we're going to assign that villager to be a healer. Once she gets there, she's going to start gathering medicinal herbs, and basically what that means is any wounded units in this territory will begin automatically healing. And if you want to heal even faster, you can assign a second healer, but I'm just going to assign the one. In any case, let's go ahead and build another house because we are supply capped right now. That's something I need to get fixed. And if you'll notice, we've got -1 on our crowns because we've built so many buildings now that we have to pay money to upkeep them, and our town hall is only producing 2 crowns, so we need to get something that's going to increase our amount of crowns. As you expand, market concerns become, well, a concern. So we're going to take advantage of the fact that this place has the potential for 3 buildings, and I'm going to build a trading post. Oh, actually, I need more wood for that, so we're just gonna wait for some wood to come in. We're currently at 64 wood, and we need to be at 80, so we're just gonna let the lumber come in and do its thing. In the meantime, I'm gonna take 2 villagers who have nothing else to do and assign them to the wheat fields. Villagers with nothing else to do are just foraging anyway, so you might as well assign them to wheat fields, fishermen's huts, or hunting lodges, which we don't have over here. Actually, I need to build one, but I'm not going to build one yet because I don't want our upkeep to go any higher. Also, we've reached 500 food again, so let's go ahead and colonize another area. Wait, are we being attacked? Oh, actually, I think that's another player. Yeah, another player is over here. Our scout has found another player's area. And that other player was doing some fighting, so that's what we heard. And our scout was hurt while exploring the area. Sometimes scouts will take damage by scouting. Alright, so I need to come clear this area out with my warriors, who probably are healed by now. Okay, one of them is. We're going to take our warriors and come take out this area. Now, this area has 3 enemies, so we're going to want to do something with that. Also, I've got lore. Hold on, let me go ahead and set these guys to not do that. Let's go ahead and select our lore and select our next perk here, our next benefit. Pillage is the next benefit I want, which gives me money for every enemy unit killed outside of my territory. So I'm going to pick that, and that's going to make it so that we can get some more crowns while we're at a deficit. So again, I'll select my army, and we're going to get them to go attack. We'll pull this guy back so that he's not the one tanking the damage. And we want them both to focus the same target. Now this guy's going to take quite a bit of damage here, but if I pull him back after he takes that damage, the other guy starts tanking. And we might be able to take someone out there. Okay, now we've got to go. I don't want to lose these guys. We did take out 2 targets, but they need to heal. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and assign another villager to the healer hut. And we are sitting at a huge surplus of food, so I do have to colonize some area over here. But I need to clear out enemies before I can do that, so I guess we're just going to sit here and heal. In the meantime, we can build up that trading post I was talking about. Let's go ahead and build that up and get this going. Now, one thing to note is that this is a slow game. These games can take quite a while to finish, 1 to 2 hours, as opposed to like StarCraft's 7 minutes or something like that. And I'm pretty sure Civ can go on for more than 1 or 2 hours, so it's kind of a mix between... Our territory is under attack, so if I hit spacebar, it shows me where that is. Oh, this wolf came in and got a kill on our warrior who was wounded. That is a shame. But this one was able to heal up enough to survive. Okay, well, we've lost a warrior. We're going to have to just deal with that by assigning another villager to become a warrior, which we can do right now, essentially. Let's go ahead and do that. Because having warriors, again, having a bigger army increases the happiness for those in the wolf clan, which is what we're playing as. Okay, so now we've got this going on. I periodically like to check on my happiness to see if, even though we're in the green, if there's any red numbers here. Sometimes under current happiness, it'll tell you if there are things that you can do to increase happiness further. Like maybe they'll want better houses, which means you can, keep an eye on that. You can stay up on that one. Okay, so this structure is almost done. It's going to be a trading post, and we can assign villagers to become merchants here, and if I do that, boom, there they go. This building is now full. We now have 2 villagers generating more coin. See that? Now we're at +3 instead of -1. So now we can actually keep up with our buildings upkeep. The rain, as far as I know, doesn't really have too much of an impact, if any, on your ability to do combat and stuff like that. Okay, so what I like to do is, once I've captured a hex, I like to try and make the most out of it. Oh, a new event is occurring. It says, portals leading to Helheim have opened. We need to take defensive action before the Draugr arrive. Now, I'm going to hit pause so I can comment on this. Here we are, this little arrow down here showing where we are throughout the year. And this little exclamation point tells us when the event is going to occur. So as long as we build up our defenses before this event happens, we should be good. Alright, so I can see on the mini-map that there are 2 portals, one right here in our territory. We're going to want to meet those Draugr coming through. And there's also another portal over here in one of the other players' territories, so they're going to have to deal with that. We're not going to have to worry about it. We only have 1 portal that we have to deal with. I'm going to select my army and bring them over here. Okay, so having all that done, also, I believe, because we actually met one of the other players here called, his name is Aldun. We can select our trading post now. And I can build a trade route. No, actually, I can't build a trade route yet because I need to research trading first. Okay, but we would be able to trade with them to generate more income. Now, if you'll notice, these villagers have nothing to do. They have a little waiting clock above their heads saying, we got nothing to do. That's because they're healers and there are no wounded units in our vicinity. So what you can do is you can select the healers and then right-click on your town hall, and that's going to get them to turn back into villagers, and they'll begin generating more food. But we don't have to, because we are actually already at a surplus. So I'm going to cancel that command and keep moving here. So we want to get some stone, because stone is needed for upgrades. So I'm going to build a mine here, because there's stone right there. We're going to go and get a mine going. We're at 18 of 20. An unknown clan has reached the famed title Thane. Okay, that's just letting me know how far along another player is in achieving victory. If I press V, we can see all the different victory conditions and which clans are closest to them. You can go ahead and pause this screen if you want to get a closer read on that. So anyway, what do we actually currently have going right now? We're going to build this mine. That's good. We also need another house. So I'm going to build a house out here. No, that's not a house. Build me a house. I'm going to build another house out in this area, because this area can support that many. And I also want to clear out... Oh yeah, we were clearing out this area so we could expand. Beware, our territory is under attack. Oh yeah, the Helheim guys spawned. So the event is going on. We only got one spawn here, so we're good. We can clear that out. We had our warriors there way ahead of time. And now the healers will heal them up, okay? Because they're just going to heal in place. That's how that works. Alright, we were going to come clear this area out, so let's go and get my warriors moving over there. Right now, there are still 3 guys there, and we know 3 guys were a match for our warriors, so we're gonna need to build up our army a little bit here. Oh, our scout just died while exploring a new area, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another villager and assign a new scout, and this scout will continue to go explore new areas. Alright, and we're also going to grab 2 villagers and assign them to this quarry right here, where they'll be mining these stones. Stones are a very valuable resource. And we still have room for one more building in this hex right here. And because fish is an available resource here, we would be able to build... this is one I've never built before. I think there's a fishing post or something like advanced. Altar of King's Forge now. Where is it? House, Woodcutter's Lodge, Healer's Hut, Fisherman's Hut, yeah. We'd be able to build a Fisherman's Hut. Oh yeah, I think I have built one of these before. And that would bring in more food. But since we're at a surplus anyway, that's not necessarily what we want to do. Now, I can increase, I just remembered this, I can increase the amount of food we can store, and I'm going to do that now by building a food silo. We need 100 wood, so we're going to need to drag more of that in. So I'm going to wait for this to reach 100, and while we do, I'm going to click on Lore and assign our next research. I'm going to select Trading. That generates more crowns just passively, and it enables us to click on our trading post and hit Build Trade Route. And now I can select which food I want to trade. Oh, sorry, which resource I want to trade. Because my area of the map is abundant in food resources, I'm going to select food to trade with the only other player that we've seen so far. I'm going to select this player. We'll get 3 crowns for every 6 apples or every 6 food that we trade with them. So I'm going to start trade route, and that's going to adjust things. Okay, winter has just arrived, and as you can see, this winter is a little harsher than before. We're actually at -12 on our food and -4 on our wood. So I can't build what I was going to build, the food silo, because we're going to need this 100 wood for firewood through the winter and hope we don't run out. Our happiness is currently not as high as I would like it to be either. But there's not a whole lot I can do about that, because the ways that I can increase happiness all involve lumber, and I need to hold on to my lumber. If I wanted to increase my happiness, for example, I could build a brewery and place it somewhere and assign villagers to be brewers, which will increase the happiness of the clan. Also, I could build up my army, but my warband can only have a maximum of 2 units right now. To increase that warband size, I would need to build an axe thrower camp or a shield bearer camp, which both enable me to build new units, new types of units, axe throwers or shield bearers, respectively, and they also increase the potential size of our warband. But again, in order to do that, I need lumber, and currently throughout the winter, we are at a lumber deficit because we're trying to keep our people warm with firewood. So all I can really do is kind of sit around here and wait for the winter to pass. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now we do have our units over here, our miners over here mining this stone, which is a really cool thing. But to make use of that stone, I would need to upgrade my town hall first, and that again requires lumber, as you can see down at the bottom of the screen there. We would need 100 lumber, and we're currently at 79 and dropping. Okay, so there is that. Also, I guess I could organize a feast right now, which could help things out. It'll help keep our villagers happy. It'll help stave off some of the loss of wood and food. But I'd rather use it at a point where I have my food silos up and some of these production facilities upgraded. But in order to upgrade, of course, we're going to need to finish mining up this stone and get our our lumber going. Now, I could just build another lumber mill in some area. Oh, what is this? Is this a forest? No, this is a wolf's cave. I don't know. Tremors have been reported. A big earthquake would seriously damage our buildings unless we store wood to repair them. Alright, so that's another event that has just occurred. Again, we are here on the timeline, and we know that the earthquake is going to hit here. So before that point, we definitely want to store a lot of wood, because when earthquakes hit, they damage your buildings. And when your buildings are damaged, you need certain amounts of wood to repair them, otherwise they'll be destroyed. So, the event lets me know that I should be stocking up wood before I get to that point. Unfortunately, wood is our least abundant resource right now. I need to be able to build more lumber mills, but remember, every hex, every area has a limited number of structures I can build, and we're currently taking up a lot of those with other very useful structures, so I've got to kind of manage this sort of thing. So the next step, in my mind, then my next plan, once winter is over, is I'm going to head out here, and I'm going to clear out this area with my warriors. Oh, I can't really. Okay, so my next step is to build an axe thrower camp. Okay, that way I can get 2 axe throwers, or at least 1, so that we can easily clear out these enemies out here. Once I've done that, then we can colonize this area, and that'll give us more building space, it'll give us more happiness for having more territory, and it's also going to make it so that I can plop down a lumber mill so I can begin generating more wood. Unfortunately, that's all going to take a lot of time, and I may not be able to get that much wood up and going before the earthquake hits, so I'm probably gonna have to forego the fishing hut here. We got 5 of 5 buildings here, 2 of 2 here, 2 of 3 there, 3 of 3 there. Actually, okay, over here I think we can very well build another lumber mill. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we can build one here. Okay, I found a spot. Alright, good. So we can build a lumber mill here, because I also want to build a silo. A food silo will increase the amount we can store beyond 500, and it will also increase the production of any farms in this hex. So this hex right here, we have those 2 plots accounted for. Okay, I can't grow because it is unhappy. If I hover over this, it says, we want better houses. You can see that, -1, we want better houses. So I've got to upgrade these houses in order to keep my clan happy. I've got to build a bigger army in order to keep my clan happy, and I would do well to build a brewery in order to keep my clan happy. First things first, we're going to build up a little bit more wood and see what we can do here. I could also try and just micro my way to victory with just 2 warriors so I can expand out here. But let's build that woodcutter's lodge first. It doesn't need to necessarily be near any kind of trees or anything like that, so where you place it doesn't really matter. But for me, visually, it just helps me locate them, because eventually your town and your city can get pretty big, and being able to locate structures very quickly is useful. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and build that up, and that's going to help us be able to bring in a lot of lumber. We're also at -4 food because our consumption is increasing as our clan continues to grow. So we need to build up some more foodstuffs, but we can't do that without lumber, because I need to be able to build either like a woodcutter's lodge over here, or upgrade my hunting lodge, or upgrade my farms, but I can't do any of that without lumber, which is unfortunate. So off we go. We should probably just upgrade sharp axes with our next lore count. We can see that we've got lore at 105 up here, and as it increases toward 150, well, once it reaches 150, I'll be able to research sharp axes, which is cool. So anyway, we finished here. I'm going to go ahead and assign villagers to this location. Now keep in mind that whenever I assign 2 villagers to be woodcutters, I'm also losing 2 villagers who were once just foraging. So now we're generating even less food in favor of generating more wood. So sometimes you might want to assign only 1 woodcutter. I don't know, it just depends. But in any case, we are getting that wood that we need, so I'm going to... one thing I can do to try and stave off this deficit of food and increase the happiness of my clan right now is organize a feast for 100 food. Let's go ahead and do that now. There we go. So for 1 month, just temporarily, we're going to boost happiness and production of all resources, which is also going to help a lot in building all of these structures that I need to build, because I'll have all the wood to be able to do that. Right now, I said I needed to build an axe thrower camp. So that, dear viewers, is what we're going to do. Now, I need to find a space for this axe thrower camp. Space for buildings has been an issue so far. So what I'm going to do, because I need 1 more plot, is I'm going to click on my town hall area, and I can develop this area for 100 crowns. We haven't spent a lot of crowns yet. We've got a nice little surplus. So I'm going to spend some of that to develop this area and open up 1 more building plot. Now, you can only do that once per area. Okay, you can develop another one for 100 over here as well, and that opens up 1 more building plot. I'm going to get an axe thrower camp now, set that down, and get a villager building that, and then we're going to assign 2 villagers to be axe throwers so we can very easily overtake these units, these Draugr out here. Okay, so we still have our feast going, and even with the feast going, we're at -1 consumption of food. That's because we have 1 unit actually building some structures. What I could do... Oh, the mine is done. This is fantastic. Okay, these guys have nothing to do right here because these stones have been mined out. So what I can do is I can select this quarry, which is no longer necessary. It says this mine is depleted. You can destroy it, and I can click on destroy building. Are you sure you want to destroy this building? Okay. So that's done, and these villagers can now be assigned to go gather food by right-clicking on the town hall. So now they're going to be gathering food, and that'll help. Okay. Oh, actually, these guys are going to become axe throwers. That makes more sense to me. Okay, so we'll hire up axe throwers. That costs some coins, and now we've got a warband of 4. Let's bring our guys over, so we're at our max warband. And I'm going to click on this lore here now, and research sharp axes like we said we were going to do. So now we're generating a good amount of wood, which is what we're going to need because we're going to be building structures and we're going to be upgrading stuff. So now we've got a bigger army. Let's get our army out here. It's not winter, so we're not having to worry about having reduced effectiveness with our army. And now with the DPS that these axe throwers bring, we're very much able to take this victory. This guy's actually moving in to go attack us. Okay. Oh, here come the earthquakes. We did have that lumber stored up. Alright, so we're going to have to find which buildings were damaged. It tells you over here on the left, damaged 3 of our buildings. Okay, so what I can do is I can grab a civilian or a villager and right-click on that building. Now let's grab another villager and find another of the damaged structures. Right-click on that one. That costs 25 lumber to repair, and there's a house burning over here too. So select another villager and right-click there. So that'll take care of all of the burning buildings. We were able to get through that earthquake just fine. Now, finally, this area I can click on and colonize. Oh, but I'm out of food. I need 160 food in order to do that. So we're gonna need to find a way to generate more food, and quickly. So I'm going to bring up the fisher's hut because we know we can get fish from this area. So we're gonna do that, and once that's done, we'll assign fishermen to this area so that they can begin generating more food. Now we've got wood and stone, which means we can do some upgrades or purchase or build this food silo, which will also increase. This is down here, food silo improves food production in this area by 10%, increases your maximum food storage. Let's go ahead and get a villager building that. So that's going to increase the production of this farm. At the same time, I'll click on the farm, and I was going to upgrade it, but as we can see here, the upgrade button does not currently work because it says requires upgraded town hall. So the first thing we'll do is we'll come to the town hall, we'll click on this, and we will upgrade it for 100 wood, 50 crowns, and 10 stone. There we go. The town hall now gets upgraded, and I believe they still want better houses, right? So I'm actually going to select one of these houses and hit upgrade on that too. Once we reach 50 lumber, and boom, there we go, and that increases happiness up to 1 just by upgrading one of the houses. That also increases our supply max as well, which is good. That's what we want. Simultaneously, what I think I can do, because I don't think I'm going to go out and attack anybody right now, is I can grab these healers, and you can select healers from this little unit pane too. Oh, our scout died while exploring, which is a shame, but it does mean we need to get another scout out. So let's go ahead and grab another villager and assign a scout. Alright, so let me go ahead and select these healers. As you can see, they're right here in this little unit pane. If I right-click on them, that selects all of them. I'm going to right-click on the town hall too, so they can begin foraging to try and offset some of that food deficit, so they can begin, getting some food going. Alright, so I also upgraded this house, and I want to upgrade now these fields, and I require 100 lumber for that. We are generating a lot of lumber very quickly now because we researched the sharp axes lore, and we've also got a second lumber mill going, so we're good. Now I need to take 2 villagers and assign them to be fishermen now because this is finished now. So they're gonna now. Okay, we're finally producing food again. We're at +2. That's fantastic, and we've got a nice 15 stone sitting around waiting for upgrades and such. So that's what we're gonna do here. Is I'm going to select these fields and hit upgrade. Ooh, and I just reached the title of Thane. That's fantastic. Our military units gain a 20% attack bonus when fighting outside our territory. So they're now actually stronger when I'm out about and conquering. Knowing this, I'm going to select my army and come move out over here and take out the 3 units, the 3 Draugr that are here, to get a nice smooth 45 coins and to prevent an attack from coming in later. Now, since we've upgraded this farm, 1 more villager can become a farmer. So I'm going to right-click and select another villager to become a farmer. Meanwhile, our army is over here. doing some wartime stuffs. Now, one other benefit to being in the Wolf Clan is that we can hunt for food. Other clans can't necessarily do that. I mean, they can do the whole deer hunting thing, but we can take out wildlife, like these wolves. So if I come over here and right-click this area to attack this area, our units, our warriors, our fighters, our army is going to come out here and take out these wolves very easily because, again, those axe throwers really do add a lot of DPS to an army. So we're going to take out those wolves, and we got 30 food for each one, so that's one way that we can feed our clan. Now I'm going to bring these guys back into our territory, and at the same time, bring one villager to become a healer. That way we have very slow healing, but healing nonetheless on our injured army. Just got to keep our army in our territory. So now with this field, with these fields upgraded, with this silo sitting there, we're doing pretty good in that regard. We can also upgrade our where's our hunter's lodge here? Oh, we don't have one. I thought I put a hunter's lodge here. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade our fisherman's hut then. Oh, we need 10 stone for that. Okay, so knowing that I'm low on stone and I need more, I'm gonna search the mini-map and give it a glance over here and look for this icon where we see stone. That is a shame because that's very far away. Well, actually, it's not. I can colonize this. But first I need to clear out the enemies there? Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and get our army moving out there. Got to be careful with this one damaged warrior, though. I'm actually going to hold her back and then get her going once they're in there. Okay. So let me go ahead and colonize this area now that we've got a nice food surplus going. This will help increase our happiness and also provide us with access to stone. As soon as this is taken over, I will build a mine, even during the winter. Ugh, it's difficult to get... It's rough land out here. Alright, so I'm going to bring a villager out here and build that. I'm also going to assign another villager to be a healer because I don't like how damaged our units are. Okay. So we're at 0 happiness, where my villagers are a certain expected amount of happy, and they are exactly that happy, so that's good. There's a huge bear out here, and it is winter, which means we don't have a whole lot in the way of food income because winter has, of course, reduced our crop and other production yields. So I think it's a good idea for me to head out and actually take down both of these bears for a lot of food. Let's do that. It is winter. Our army's effectiveness is reduced, but I think the 4 of them can take out a bear. Let's find out. Let's see what happens. As long as this guy gets in there first. There we go. Now the bear does deal a lot of damage. Oh, he is hitting the injured one. Oh, he keeps switching. Oh, he took out one of them. Well, that happens. We got 150 food off of that. We're going to send these 3 in to take out this next bear, just because I don't want these guys to get it. Actually, we're the only ones that can hunt for food, so there's that. But this is helping. This is definitely helping feed our villagers, because this is going to be 300 food. Let them attack the axe thrower a little bit there. Okay, now we're going to bring them back into our territory. And I'm going to grab another villager and assign another axe thrower. Where is the axe thrower? There we go. Costs 45 crowns to do so. And press E to select our whole army and get them all over here. Now our healers will heal them up while that happens. Also, I'm going to grab another villager. This is our last villager, normal villager. We're going to grab our last villager and come assign her to be a miner so that she can get stone. Now we are still generating villagers, of course, because we've got a cap of 30, and the town hall is still producing more. So once this next villager actually does spawn, we're going to select them and make them a miner as well. Okay. So there is that. We're barely hanging on it. We're barely meeting expected happiness. We've got some decent territory coming in. I'm going to hit V and take a look at the victory conditions. At this point, we've just been doing what we can to just survive and build up out here. We haven't really taken a look at which victory condition we want to go for yet. As we can see, a lot of the other clans are also in the same boat that we're in. Nobody's really far along in any potential kind of victory. I think we might go for domination by taking out other clans because we're the Wolf Clan. We have a lot of military upgrades, so I might actually go for that. I have won games with trade and wisdom before too, but we're going to go with domination this time around, I think. I think that just seems like the most appealing and probably the easiest way to do it in this one. Alright, so we've got more lore that we can get. Because we know we're going for domination, I'm going to pick up sharp weapons, increases our military units' attack power by 15%. We'll do that. We have been doing a lot of fighting. And we do have more Draugr out here. So So I'm going to take our army and go take them out. We are now stronger than we were before. It's no longer winter. We can deal the necessary damage that we need to quickly eliminate these targets. It eliminates any threat of them actually attacking us too, which is really good. Alright, so now we are generating just a little bit of food. Let's see, our scout was hurt, okay. And Aldun has started trading food with us. That's good. We can see here that we've got +2 incoming trade now, and it's the only thing actually keeping us generating more food. Alright, well, we are kind of wasting a hex here, aren't we? I'm going to go ahead and develop this area with crowns so I can get another building. And I'm going to build a hunter's lodge here so that we can begin generating yet more food. But we need a villager to actually build that, which means we have to wait for this villager to finish or take a villager off of, let's say, the market here. We can't just take her as a merchant and take her to build this immediately. We have to turn her into a villager first by right-clicking on the town hall. Now she's a villager, so you can come build this. Okay, that way we don't have to wait the extra time that it takes for this villager to finish spawning. Alright, so she's actually going to go build this area, and she'll probably not go back to being a merchant anytime soon, and she'll start hunting these deer so that we can continue to generate more and more food for our clan. As that is the case, we're also going to select this fisherman's hut, and we're going to upgrade it, because this is with this we can assign another fisherman, and all fishermen gain an extra bonus for producing food. So we're going to upgrade this as well, and that's going to help us to continue to produce more and more food. Alright, so we've got happiness here. We have a level of 10 expected happiness now. We need to do something to build up that happiness some more. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and colonize this area for 200. That way we can get more territory, which is what our clan likes. We like having territory, and we like taking territory. So we'll do that to get some more territory. And that'll increase the clan happiness, bringing us to 0. And now that we've got this spot, I'm going to build a brewery. That way we can continue to get more and more villagers coming in. Go ahead and select one of them right here. And we also need to assign a villager to become a hunter over here. Alright, and we still have one villager not really doing much, right? Oh yeah, she's going to go build. Okay, so in a second, she's going to become a brewer as well. We'll assign her to do that. Alright, Aldun has obtained Freya's blessing, 2 more, and he will achieve victory. Okay, so he's going for the wisdom victory. We should probably just go over there and attack him at some point, but we want to build up our army first. And of course, before we do that, we want to make sure we've got the surplus of food and coins that we need to be able to support an army. So that's what we have. That's why I'm building up things like our fisherman's hut and building this hunter's lodge over here. All right, we're also going to upgrade the hunter's lodge because we do have the stone to do that. We'll upgrade that, and that produces even more food coming in, which is fantastic. It's something that we want to have going on. That's good. And we've got a lot of crowns too. Now if I had a trading post which I can build, or sorry, a marketplace, I could spend some of these crowns to buy necessary resources. And I think I might end up doing that pretty soon. But first, because we do have 5 iron, I'm going to select my barracks here, or my training camp, and I can train my berserker, hire a berserker. Now every clan gets their own form of like war chief or chieftain. For the wolf clan, it's the berserker. So I'm going to click on this. And that gets us our berserker. He's an extremely powerful combat unit. We're going to have him join up with our army over here. Extremely powerful combat unit. He's got 27 attack damage and 150 resistance. As opposed to, let's say, the axe thrower, who's got 15 damage and 35 resistance. So as you can see, this guy is huge, and you can see why. It's because he's a really big unit. I think I assigned a villager away from building the brewery, which is okay, I guess. We just need another villager to spawn pretty soon. We do have villagers who are now hunting out here. We have 3 of them. The weather is cold this year. We'll have a blizzard this winter, so we need to store a large amount of food and wood. Okay, so this changes my plans. A new event has just occurred, and it changes everything. The blizzard can be absolutely devastating, I have found, in these matches. It can very quickly deplete a clan's resources. Food and lumber are both incredibly necessary during this time. It can freeze your villagers because they don't have firewood. It can starve them and make them sick because they don't have food. So you can take a huge setback to a blizzard if you don't prepare for it. So that's what we're going to be doing from now until the point of the blizzard. We're just going to prepare for that. We need a villager to pop out here so I can continue building, but because we're not able to do that just yet, I will be organizing a feast for 150 right now. Actually, I think what I want to do is I'll upgrade my my woodcutter's lodge first. Oh, I don't have the stone to do that. Okay, whatever. I'm going to organize a feast right now, That makes everybody happy. That builds up production of food and wood, and we should be good to go as long as I just let this stuff build up. I think because we have such a decent amount of food surplus, I think I kind of want to build another silo somewhere. But I'm not sure where I would build a silo. I guess here. No, I don't want to build a silo there because I have plans for that one plot. That plot is going to be the marketplace. No, not a marketplace. Yeah, actually, this is where we can spend crowns. So that should be okay. But of course, we need another villager who's going to come finish building this brewery. Now, we don't really need our healers doing this whole number. They're kind of just wasting time. So we're going to assign one to be a villager. And we'll have that one come build the marketplace over here. This way we can spend this surplus of crowns on other resources that we might need. The marketplace is a very, very good structure, especially for players unfamiliar with this game, because it gives you a lot of margin for error. If you find yourself unable to, for some reason, produce a resource that you absolutely need, as long as you have crowns, you should be able to help stave off some of the bite of not having that resource. Alright, so we've got some civilians here. I'm going to go ahead and assign one to come build. We should still have this one building the brewery. Okay, so that's good. We still have one healer in case we take any damage, and we have a villager, just a miner, not doing anything. Okay, we've got two miners over here doing nothing. That's good to know. That way we can turn them back into villagers, and we can destroy this quarry because it's no longer necessary. Okay, and the brewery is complete, which is fantastic. So we can assign one unit to become a brewer, or one guy to become a brewer, and that's going to increase our clan's happiness. Okay, and we can assign another brewer out there too as soon as these guys come back and actually become civilians again, or villagers again. And of course, we still have one villager out here building the marketplace. We're going to have to assign her to become a merchant now, or a marketer, or whatever so that she can actually begin generating the resources that we need to be able to buy. Just cut those deals and stuff like that. Alright, so we're going to assign her to become a merchant. There she goes. And now the marketplace is going to start ticking up in the resources that we can buy for crowns. These resources will tick up faster the more merchants you have assigned, which means you'll have more of a safety net that you can use and more things that you can work with in that regard. Okay, so we've got some villagers now finally. We're going to go ahead and right click and assign one more of them to become a brewer to further increase our clan's happiness. And I think I'm going to go ahead and upgrade a house now because I've got 6 stone. And eventually they're going to say they want better houses anyway. So I'm just going to upgrade this preemptively. Upgrade that house. And again, we are simply just trying to store... Ooh, Torvald's reached fame title Jarl. Okay. And this whole time, remember, we've kept assigning scouts. So our scout is checking out enemy territories or other players' territories and neutral territories and seeing what's actually going on. So that's fantastic. Actually, we don't have a scout anymore. They died. So we need to assign another one. I'm going to grab a villager and assign another villager to become a scout. Oh, actually, we clicked 2 of them. I think it's okay to have two scouts going out right now because we are going conquest. Alright, so that's all happening. Fine and dandy, kind of how I want that to work. We've got 3 happiness now. We are sort of low on our food production. It's only at +9 right now, but that's because we don't have a lot of idle villagers wandering around anymore. As the town hall produces more and more villagers, we'll start getting a bit more of a food surplus, which is fantastic. That's actually what I want. Alright. So, what is the next step for us here? We've got 3 buildings here. Oh, we need to assign another fisherman. Can't do that, though, because... Okay, actually, we just got another villager. Let's go ahead and select her and assign her to become a fisherman. Okay, so she'll be fishing now. We'll start getting even more food from that. Alright, so we got... again, pressing the info button here at the top of the map is crucial. That way you can tell what's going on in each of your hexes. Alright, so this is normal winter. Okay, this is normal winter. We haven't reached the blizzard yet. The blizzard occurs during winter, of course, obviously, but greatly amplifies the effect that winter has on your clan. So, good thing for us, we have spent a lot of time simply stockpiling food and wood. This should be a decent amount, should be good enough to get us through the winter. And again, we're just hunkering down now. All we're doing is sitting back and waiting for the winter to go out, trying to maintain things, trying to plan during this time for what comes next. And as that is the case, we're going to go ahead and pull the villager, or the healer, off of the healing house and send her back to the town hall to become a forager, so that hopefully we can get just a little bit more food during this winter time. Hunters are still continuing to hunt. Actually, I do need more stone, and that's another thing that I'll show you why the marketplace comes in really handy here too. Because if you look at the mini map, we'll see that there's not a lot of stone for me to get. There's fish, there's wheat, there's deer, There's like a treasure. There's treasure over here. This is a ruins. You can have scouts come over here, and they can explore this place and come up with treasure, which is cool. But we don't have the necessary connection with our hexes there. We don't have the territory leading up to it, so we can't quite do that. Again, you have to control the territory before you can make use of any of its resources, even things like ruins. Okay. So here's the blizzard. We are currently in the middle of the blizzard. You can see we're at -23 and -28, and you can see how much this hurts. So if you don't have... Look how quickly these numbers are dropping. So if you're sitting at like 100, 200 before a blizzard starts, your clan is going to starve and freeze. You need to prepare for that way ahead of time. Alright, so we have enough lore. Our stockpiles are enough to keep our clan warm and healthy during even the blizzard, so we can relax comfortably there in that regard. But now I need to look at my next lore upgrade here. Coinage would be nice, because it does look like, even though we're at a surplus of coins, the amount that we're dragging in has kind of decreased, because the more buildings we build, the more coinage we require. Or I could pick up Legendary Heroes, which improves my Berserker's attack by 50%. I think I'm going to do that. We could also pick up Conqueror, increases military power against defense power towers by 200%, and makes decolonization twice as fast. I think we're going to get Legendary Heroes. That makes my Berserker even better. Now, we have these extra blessings down here that unlock once you get certain... once you've acquired 6 upgrades in the knowledge tree here, in the lore tree. Oh, our territory is under attack. Let me find out where that's actually happening. Looks like we have just one Draugr going out there. Alright, let's go take care of them. Let's send our army out there. Now you'll notice this flag is decreasing. It's possible for us to lose territory that we don't have defended if someone comes and occupies it. So we're going to go ahead and take down that guy, and that will fill back up, and we maintain our territory. This unit is an enemy scout. We can't attack them because they're a scout. It's just how the rules of the game go. So we're going to pull back. And they're not, that player's not necessarily an enemy either, just because he's wearing red. He's another player. He's the red player over here. Okay, so we've got our scouts out, and again, we have to pick our which blessing we want. Once you've got 6 upgrades here in the lore tree, you can select a blessing down here. And if at any point you control all of these blessings, you win the game. That's how you get the wisdom victory condition. Alright, what do we need? Reduces food production during winter by 30%? Nope. Baldur's, but that was Freya's blessing. Baldur's blessing, you gain +3 happiness. Okay, so that's just a solid +3 to your happiness. We've got Yord's blessing. Unlock all but... Oh, sorry. You gain +20 stone and +10 iron. We're going to go ahead and do Yord's blessing because we have 1 stone right now and we need to get upgrades. So I'm going to do this. Boom. 20 stone, something that we desperately needed. In fact, that's what we were talking about before. Again, I'm going to pause so I can commentate on this. But if you'll look at the map right now, we didn't have very much in the way of stone. Actually, I just picked that out. We do have 1 stone right there. I might begin colonizing toward that area so I can take advantage of that. But we didn't have a whole lot of stone spawning near us. We had food, but we didn't have a whole lot of stone spawning near us. So things like upgrades were difficult to come by because we had to really make good use of the stone that we had. Okay, so there is that. Now we've got Yord's Blessing, which gave us a good solid 20 stone to work with, and 10 iron, which we can use to improve our tools. If I click on Improve Tools, I think we can actually do that right now, even while the game is paused. Like if I hold my mouse over the... any of these units, actually, we can improve their tools for 30 coins and 5 iron. So we're going to spend all 10 of that iron right now, I think. I want to increase my warrior's attack power. That's good. Oh, I can't do that until I unpause. Okay. Increase my warrior's attack power. They're upgraded. You can only upgrade them once. Once they're upgraded, fantastic. They got that 15% attack power. You spent the resources. You're good to go. But I think one thing I kind of want to do is... Yeah, I think I sort of want to get more food production even, because we are trading food out to get coins back in. And I don't want to fall into a position where we have to worry too much about winter. So I think what I can do is I can take my farmers here and, yeah, upgrade our farmers too. There we go. That way we're getting even more wheat from that. Okay, so that's good. We've spent the iron and we've got the stone. Now again, stone was something that was difficult for us to come by, which is one of the reasons we have this marketplace here. So you can see that stone is building up. We can buy that much stone for 200 coins if we need it, or any of these other resources. We have our merchant constantly finding new deals and stuff like that for us. That's kind of how that ticks up in the resources that we can buy. Alright, so we're going to need a healer now. Grab 1 villager, come over here, and do this. Let's check the happiness. We're good there, but I'm going to go ahead and upgrade one of the houses. That helps keep them happy, because eventually they can get to a point where they're like, we need better houses. So you want to kind of head that off at the pass. Also, we're at 28 of 33 in population, so by upgrading this house, we'll jump that up to 28 of 36, making it a little bit easier for us to maintain that supply cap. Okay, so we've got some more villagers getting ready to be pumped out here. And I think it's time for me to get that shield bearer camp. But where can I build it? We can build a shield bearer camp. Looks like this is a pretty good empty spot to do that, right? I don't think we need anything else here. Yeah, we're going to build a shield bearer camp right there, and we're going to be able to turn 2 of our units into shield bearers. Now, my army is getting big enough to the point where I can afford to have a defensive force back home and an offensive force to go out and attack. And so once I get 2 shield bearers, I think I'll do exactly that. Now, I like my defensive force to be fairly small. 3 units is what I use for a defensive force. But I'm also going to build a defense tower right here because it's right at the border between me and yellow. So I'm going to build a defense tower right here. Have a villager build that. Defense towers do not count toward the limit of buildings in any given area. So you can have 1 defense tower in any area, or 1 defense tower in each area, and it doesn't take up a slot for buildings. So that's good. Anyway, let's go ahead and select all of our civilians once this shield bearer camp is done. Or all of our villagers. I think I keep saying civilians. Sorry, I'm just kind of mixing them up. I'm just kind of interchanging them. All right, so we've got us now a shield bearer out here. So a shield bearer, an axe thrower, and a warrior. That is my defensive force. I'm going to select them, and just like in StarCraft or Warcraft, I'm going to hit Control 2, and they are now Control Group 2. And we're just going to keep them at the border somewhere, or maybe out here. And Group 1 over here, which is currently comprised of the Berserker and 2 axe throwers. Group 1 will be our offensive force. They'll be the ones that go out and do all the fighting. Now we do need another villager. Wait, where is our other shield bearer? I know I got another shield bearer. Oh, okay, there they are. There they are. That's part of Group 1 too. Yeah, Group 2 is over here. There's Group 1. I knew we had 1 more unit. Okay. Our scout was hurt while exploring a new area. Okay, that's fine. As long as they don't die out there. I mean, a lot of them have died, but you know what I mean. Okay, it looks like they're building a defense tower right now. So what I'm going to do, since I have my full army close by, I'm going to go ahead and attack with the full force of my army before this defense tower is done. Let's get in there. I am going to be attacking other players this game, and I have the full force of my army here, so that's what we're doing. This defense tower could put a big hurt on my offensive force here, so we are going to come in here and try and defeat them before they do that. So we're going to take over this hex. Now we're going to bring our defensive force back home and leave just our offensive force. Getting our offensive force out here, and we're going to take this place over. Well, we won't own it, but we will decolonize it for them. So they will no longer have this territory, decreasing their happiness, decreasing their reach, all that stuff. Also, we could attack this wyvern, couldn't we? But we only get fame off of that, which could lead to a fame victory if we do it right. So I don't know. Right now the plan is currently just to destroy the other players. Maybe we'll go for a fame victory. I don't really know. But we got a good amount of food coming in. We're gonna need another silo. Oh, actually we can take this place over once we've got it and build a field there and a silo for a good amount of food. Rats have been reported. We need to store food in silos or else it'll get eaten. Okay, so that is the next event that's happening this year. We're sitting right here, and then the rat infestation is going to come and destroy foodstuffs that are not protected. It says rats will devour 50% of any food not stored in silos. Your silos currently protect only 300 because I've only got 1 silo on the map. So I need more silos to protect our surplus of food. We've got 800 food right here. We don't want to lose a portion of that due to the fact that we didn't have silos. Fortunately, we just took over a fields area, or we just decolonized a fields area, taking it from another player. So I'm going to go ahead and let this finish burning down, which is what we have to do here. Actually, I can move in and continue to press the attack against them. Their town hall is right there. I might just be able to take them out right now, which could be fantastic because their defensive force seems very minor right now. So I can keep moving through and attacking them, which is neat. And this is just going to burn up on its own. Once it does, I can build out here. I can just colonize this area right now for 290. I'll do that. And meanwhile, we've got our offensive force taking over this area. So we are finally pursuing one of the victory conditions. And of course, if I were a better player and if I wasn't having to commentate, not really having to commentate, but if I wasn't commentating, obviously things would be going faster because I wouldn't have to explain every move that I'm doing. But this game is very conducive to sitting back, planning, and playing very slowly, unlike a lot of RTSs. So that's fantastic. I kind of really like that about this. Alright, so we lost another scout. We're going to go ahead and select another villager here and assign another scout so that we can continue to explore the map, because we need to reveal all of our opponents' town halls, just like we've revealed theirs right here. And we're going to press in and attack toward their town hall now. They're probably going to bring every villager they have to try and defend this place. Now, we've got a shield bearer up here. Those are really, they're really fantastic as tanks. Yeah, here come all their villagers. We're going to have to try and take them out. But they're just villagers. Some of them have farming equipment and maybe like lumberjacks, axes and things like that. But we should be able to finish off this player like this. And we're getting crowns for each of these. We're also going to come over here and check for the status of this. Okay, we did colonize this. I wonder if I can build the farm now. I can't until that's gone, but I can build the silo ahead of time. So let's go ahead and get the silo going so that we don't have to worry about the rat infestation coming later this year. We're going to want to try to protect as much of this food as possible. What else do we really want or need around us right now? We can spread out here. Now notice that these rocks have those little lore icons. If you were going for the wisdom victory condition, this might be what you want to do. Also, it's good to note that the yellow player, who was pretty close, who was like getting halfway to the wisdom victory condition, we're taking them out right now. So that's fantastic. We're about to finish taking over their town hall. Boom, there it is. Alright, new title, Jarl. Alright, your berserker can colonize cleared areas for free. That is the new benefit that I've just gained. See, my berserker unit right here, he has the Dominion ability, and if I go to a cleared area that's adjacent to an area that I control, he can take it over for free without having to pay the food cost. But he can only do that once every, like, I don't know, like 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. So you still have to worry about the food cost in so doing, but every now and then I can take over a free area, which is fantastic. Alright, so this is this guy's town, and he's eliminated. If I press V for the victory conditions, we can see I've defeated one of 3 clans. So now we got to begin plotting to take out the other clans, and my scouts are doing exactly that. They're trying to find the town halls now for the other clans at this point, so the other guy's got to be like right there or something like that. But we can't go attack him until we know where he is, so our scouts have just got to do their work. Now, one thing I can get next is cartography. Along the weaponsmith tree, and we're at 271 up here. We can see 272 out of 280 lore that we need to be able to get the next bit of research. We're going to research cartography, which allows our scouts to explore controlled areas, basically player controlled areas, 200% faster. That way they can begin clearing the map very quickly. So once this happens, boom, we're going to upgrade cartography. Now our scouts are going to go out there and start doing their thing. Alright, so we've got silos. I'm going to hit pause, and I'm going to hold my mouse over the rat infestation right here. It says we're currently protecting 600, which means we need to find another place for another silo. Let's go ahead and find a place for a silo right here. I think I can develop this area. Boom. And I can build a silo right here. And this ought to be enough to protect our food. Alright, so we're going through a normal winter at this point. Let's go ahead and bring our army home. That way they can get healed by the healer's hut, which we should have 2 of them. No, we only have one healer. Okay, now we have 2 healers. So we're going to bring our attacking army home. One of our scouts just died. I'm going to take another villager here and assign another scout, because again, we need to find those town halls. Okay. Whew, a lot going on at this point. And apparently we've only got 1 lumberjack here, so we're going to take another villager. Oh, actually, we're doing pretty well as far as wood is concerned, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Even though we are at a deficit, when it comes summertime, we'll be okay. So we're building another silo, and we are approaching the rat infestation, so this 3rd silo ought to be enough to protect most of our food, if not all of it. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for at that point. Especially, okay, we will be able to protect all of our food, especially if I come and colonize this area for 290. So we're going to go and colonize that spot, and that will take over this whole area right here, which will also help to increase our happiness. Boom, that area is taken over, and we've now got 3 silos. If I hold my mouse over this, it says your silos currently protect 900 food. Alright, so we will be absolutely impervious to the rat infestation. It will deal no damage to us, so we are absolutely impervious to the rat infestation now. So that's good. That's what we need. And as a side benefit, again, we took over this one place, so let's go ahead and build another fields out here just because we can. It's good to make sure we've still got a lot of food coming in, something you want to keep up with. I'll press V for victory conditions. There are 2 that I could really go for. I could try and wipe out the other 2 clans, or I can go for the fame victory, because I am close to that, because that blue bar is filling up. Doing okay on trade, but we're closest to fame and domination. Now, if I captured 3 more areas, And if I built up some more fame by doing things like taking out this wyvern or taking out other player armies and areas, and I build the Altar of Kings, which is an advanced structure here. You can see. Okay, so the rats are here. Our silos have protected us from the rat infestation. No big deal. Our foodstuffs are perfectly fine. So even during the winter here, we are still generating some food, and it's all safe from the rats, so that's good. All right, anyway, like I was saying, the Altar of Kings is an advanced structure right here, requiring 300 lumber, 300 crowns, and 10 stone, which we could build. So again, fame is something that we could go for, the fame victory condition, just by getting 3 more areas, and one of those would be free because of our Berserker's domination ability. So really, we're only looking at needing to collect less than 600 fame to go for that condition. So, you know what, we can go ahead and just continue to pursue our conquest of the other players' towns. Let's get moving here. Looks like our scout is scouting out this area. Perhaps they will find the town hall. We're moving our offensive force out now. We've only got 4 units in it. We don't really need very many more, but against medium or harder AI, I'm sure this would not be so easy. I have only played, I got destroyed by medium AI, but it was like my first couple of games. Now that I know the game, I could probably go up to medium AI, but playing against easy definitely makes it easier for me to commentate this and showcase the game in a video. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over here. We'll clear out these wolves again. That'll give us a little bit of food. And our silos make it so that we can store 2,000 food, so that's good. Alright, and we're going to move over here and go for an attack. Let's see what kind of defenses he has available. We got a shield bearer coming in. We've got, what is that, a lore master. The lore masters are coming to defend. Looks like the red player didn't have a whole lot in the way of army. Oh, here comes their army. Comes a warrior, a shield bearer, another warrior. They don't have a chieftain or anything like that. Oh yeah, he is, war chief. There he is. He's going against my berserker. He's no match for my berserker and my army. So we'll take this over, and we're going to go ahead and let that finish. We can just keep on pressing the assault here, too. We can move forward. As long as we've cleared the previous area, we can move forward and take over others. Although we don't want to do that, because that leaves us kind of trapped in their area. So we're going to let this finish. We're going to let this finish decolonizing there. And we found his town hall, so we know we can go here. And he didn't take this hex. I was going to say we can go here, here, and here, but I think because he didn't take that hex, we're going to have to go all the way around. Interesting. Alright, so we're going to leave these guys in this area while that decolonizes. And I think we've essentially gotten to the point where we can basically just win the game now, as long as we continue to scout this area over here. I want my scouts finding this town hall. There we go. He's doing his thing. He or she is doing their thing. So that's fine. So we've got a lot of food coming in. We've got a decent amount of lumber. I don't think we really need a whole lot more. What I could probably do at this point is build another training camp. Yeah, we can build another training camp. Boom. We can build an axe thrower camp. Boom. And we can build another shield bearer camp. And none of these are specifically for producing units, but instead they are here so that we can do... Okay, we need to do this. We need to let them build. We need another civilian to build once this one starts. Okay, we got another one coming in. These are to increase the size of our warband. I'm probably going to need to build another house, too. Let's put a house in here. There we go. That ought to be good, because we're going to need to be able to support these military units. We're at 34 of 36 right now. Alright, so we've got our army over here. And I'm going to come clear out this wolves' den. We're going to pull back away from the red player, and we're going to use our Berserker's Dominion ability now to claim this area for free, and this is just to increase happiness. I just want more territory to build up more happiness for our clan. So here we go. And he's taking it over for free right now. You can see it colonizing. Boom! That's free right there. And then we can take over this area using food, because we've got a nice surplus, so we can take that over. Alright. So now we've got these, and we've got a whole bunch of villagers who've got nothing to do, so we're gonna send them back. Actually, no, we're gonna take as many of these as we can and make some warriors. And let's make some... How many warriors we got here? Oh, this is 4 warriors. 4 warriors and an axe thrower? That's not what I want. I want you to become an axe thrower. Alright, so we got... Actually, let's make one of these guys a shield bearer, too. We just spent a lot of crowns doing that. We're actually short on crowns now because of all these buildings. Alright, so this is going to be Group 3. They will be another offensive force that we're going to use to go attack this player at the same time. Alright, so let's get them moving out here. So Group 3 is going to get moving. Group 1 is still doing their thing. We've taken over this area already. and we're going to come attack through this forest and hopefully get to the red player's town hall. We can see the green player's town hall now. We are low on crowns. I'm going to need to build another market, or another trading post, to make sure that we can support all these new buildings that I just suddenly plopped down. That all these new buildings, these and the new house I built elsewhere, all require coin upkeep, as you can see. -12 building upkeep there under crowns. So I just suddenly threw a big wrench in my economy there. So I need to fix that. We're being attacked here. Let's send our offensive force this direction to stop that. It's just a wolf. It's not really that big of a deal. Okay. Now, can we go over here? We can. We can now attack. What is this? Oh, it's a Hall of Skalds. Yeah, this is a unique structure to the Stag clan. All right, so we do have some opposing army here, but for the most part, our guys who are nice and upgraded are going to be able to take over this whole place. Meanwhile, Group 3 can come over here and begin their relentless pursuit toward the green player's town hall. Now, we do have... Okay, so we've got a two-pronged attack going right now. We're attacking the green player, and we're attacking the red player. Meanwhile, back at home... Yeah, these guys are still good. These guys are still doing okay. Oh, they had to fight the opposing army, actually. I just realized the green player had a pretty big army. I think we sent 5 units in here. We have 3 left. I'm going to devote my defensive force, which is Group 2, to join the attack here with Group 3. So Groups 2 and 3 will be fighting together now. I don't really need much of a defensive force because we are occupying the only other two players by attacking them. We're taking up all of their army space, so I don't really need a huge defensive force right now. And any animals that might attack our village can be staved off by the villagers that are there. Okay, so we're going to select all this. Actually, we're going to leave them as separate groups, but we are going to send Group 2 in first once this gets taken over, and Group 1 is over here taking over this player's town hall. Okay, so that's good. And I do have this marketplace that we just finished, right? This has got no civilians. We're going to assign civilians here. Oh, we just defeated the red player. Fantastic. So we just assigned civilians over to this new marketplace right here, or villagers to this new marketplace, and that's going to make it so that we are no longer losing crowns, but are instead, once again, at a surplus and generating. So there we go. Because we built up so many structures at once, we needed to account for that. So we need to bring in some money somehow, and this merchant right here will do that. So good. Now we're actually generating crowns again. Meanwhile, we're going to get Group 2 and 3 moving out here so they can attack the green player, and we're going to send Group 1 over there as well. It's going to take them a while to get there. We got Group 1 moving over there, but Group 2 and Group 3 are fighting to take over the green player's area, and this is going to be victory. Once we get over here and take out this town hall, that will win the game for us. I'm going to go ahead and hit V. I hit B on accident as well. I'm going to hit V. We can see 2 of 3 clans have been defeated. We were also pretty close to the fame victory and the trade victory. And that's basically how this game is played. In fact, we can just move in now, I think. Maybe not. I think we do need to take this place over. Select E for my whole army and just move everybody there. I'll just press E on my keyboard, selecting my whole army. Alright, so we're taking this place over, and then once this little icon on my cursor is no longer an X and becomes the little sword or swords icon, I'm not sure if it's multiple swords or just the one. It's multiple. Once it becomes the crossed swords icon, we'll be able to move in here. We got a villager running in trying to, like, play hero or something. That was valiant. Alright, so we got our whole army now attacking the green player's town hall, and that will eliminate all players in the game, and we will be done. Woo! This is a game I've actually found myself playing quite a bit of in my spare time. Like, whenever I get a chance to play it, I'll jump on and I will play it. Because it's just been a whole lot of fun for me, even though I've only been playing AI skirmishes for now. I've had a blast learning the game, playing it, building strategies, going for the different going for the different victory conditions, and trying out all the, well, not really trying out all the different kinds of maps, but each map, which is of course, procedurally generated, again, will help determine which victory conditions you can even go for. We had a lot of food this time around when I spawned in on this map, but other maps may not have so much food and may have lots of lumber or stone, or maybe you might not even have a whole lot available to you at the start as it is. So, you gotta work with the map each time, and what the other players are doing, and what your own strategy is, and what clan you're playing, and what upgrades are available to you based on the resources you have and stuff like that, or just what upgrades are available to you altogether, as well as what lore you decide to research. It's very deep. It's fairly simple to get the grasp of. Boom, victory. And then we get like a replay right here that shows like a quick little replay of everything that happened in the game with little text notifications over here showing everything that happened line by line as it all occurred. You can see there's that first winter. There's some attacks. You can see expanding over here down at the bottom while the other players are also trying to expand and build up their areas. And everybody, you can see the whole game as it plays out all the way through to the end. And there comes a point here where I just explode out of my territory once I've made sure I've got the resources to support an army. And, to make sure they're healed and replace any units that I might need to replace or what have you. Or, to send reinforcements if I need to send reinforcements and things like that. Once I was making sure I was secure, I moved out and started attacking other players, starting with the yellow player, which is, I think, coming up pretty soon. Yeah, this is where we bordered with one another, and I pushed that back real quick, took that place over, and took them out. So anyway, yeah, you can finish watching that replay. I don't need the line by line. I don't need to commentate or anything like that. But this is a game that took me quite some time to try and figure out. I did try and do a first time playing video, but it was a mess. I don't really want to say a mess, but it was extremely difficult for me to even know what was going on. I figured it was better for me to learn the game a little bit before I made a video on it. But yeah, this game does have multiplayer. You can do teams like 2v2 and 3v3, and I think there's even like 2v2v2. You can set up your own lobbies and play games with other players and stuff like that. Or you can do like co-op with friends versus the AI, like in a 2v2 capacity, or even maybe like you two versus three of them. I'm not sure if you can set that up, but you can set up lobbies and things like that, which is really, really cool. Something I might want to get into, but I'm still right now just enjoying fighting against the easy AI. I'm probably going to go up to the medium AI pretty soon, and maybe I'll go to the hard AI some matches before I even start doing like versus players multiplayer. But this has been a game that I've been having quite a lot of fun with. I'm going to go ahead and quit the title because that game is now done. As you can see, these games can take a while to finish, but of course better players can probably finish games in shorter amounts of time if they're going up against easy AI, of course. Maybe equal skilled players will take a long time against each other. Who knows? Who knows, man? But once again, this was a whole lot of fun. I don't really play Civilization type games, but I do play RTS games. So the Civ elements are what took me a little bit to learn, whereas the RTS elements kind of just came naturally to me. At this point, having as much experience as I do in games like Warcraft and StarCraft. Oh, but yeah, it's a nice little blend. It's like a real-time Civ. I like it. It's a whole lot of fun, but as you can see by the length of this video, it takes a while to get through a game, and my voice, having commentated all this, could probably use a break at this point. So let me know what you thought about this game in the comments down below. I'm not sure if I would do more videos on this necessarily. I kind of just wanted to showcase it. Again, it's an early access game. You can get it in Steam. I'm very much looking forward to the campaign. I'm looking forward to trying out the other clans. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out the other clans, the different AIs. Again, you can go multiplayer. You can see we've got some other players have lobbies open already. You can see this one's Team 3v3, this one's Team 2v2v2, this one's free for all. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do. So this game already has a lot there for the kind of player who is interested in this kind of stuff. But I'm very, very interested in the campaign. I want to see what kind of story this game could have. Alright, so I hope this was enough to showcase the game for you folks, and I might do some more videos of like little strategies here and there, or tips, or I don't know, maybe not tips and stuff. Maybe I'll just put up wholesale games like this again. If it's something you folks are interested in, I'm not 100% certain on this. That will do it for this particular video. I hope you folks enjoyed this. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you folks next time.